I didn't know exactly what he was doing, but I did know people were talking about him. That's the name of the game, bro. Get people talking about you. And like I said, I didn't know exactly what he said, but I keep hearing the name Ricochet. That's what you need to do, man. So good for him. Bro, do you know what would be so freaking awesome? And again, I'm going to apologize to the internet wrestling community up front. Yeah. I swear to God, Chris, remember Tuesday Night Titans?
Oh, yeah.
Bro, let Tony Khan host a show like that. How freaking great would that be if Tony Khan was in the Vince McMahon role?
Oh, that would be fantastic, man.
What a show.
Because it'll bring characters out, too. It was, I mean, like, Old Halford Hayes was the Ed McMahon of that show. When he's sitting over there with Vince.
What a great show, man. Oh, my God, what a great show.
That was fantastic. And it really showed characters, man.
Yes.
It was fantastic.
Bro, you had Andre on there doing the fish thing, remember? Andre.
Yeah.
Remember, and he couldn't keep a straight face.
Yes.
How freaking great that was, man.
Oh, it was fantastic, man. They had Junkyard Dog.
Oh,
God. Yeah, it was fantastic, man. Yeah. Let's talk about we talked about ESPN having this grading Wrestlepalooza C, but Ricochet, who's the king of the IW, He's the IWC killer, I guess. He has really starting to become nowadays, as far as spending a lot of time hanging out on the webs. He said something about this C grade, and he said, "I know our show was way better than the C," and he gave his aha type of deal, his moniker, and so. A lot of people commented on it, and people were defending. Although, it's so funny about the IWC, man. And when we're saying we're apologizing to the IWC, totally tongue in cheek. We don't. But it's funny that the IWC is hilarious. Absolutely psychological case study every time I sign it into Twitter. It's hilarious. So, as much as people were crapping on Wrestlepalooza, Ricochet says something about it, and someone says, "But which show had the higher attendance? Which show had the higher gate?"
Unreal. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
It's like, make up your mind, man. Make up your mind. So, what's your take on Ricochet starting to...
I think it's great, bro, because I didn't know exactly what he was doing, but I did know people were talking about him. That's the name of the game, bro. Get people talking about you. And like I said, I didn't know exactly what he said, but I keep hearing the name Ricochet. That's what you need to do, man. So good for him.
It's interesting, man, because I agree with you, but I do think that Ricochet is starting to make himself kind of like I think he's losing a lot of stock value by spending so much time talking to the internet people. I don't think that helps his stock value in AEW. It lowers himself to the IWC, and it's like, nah, no wrestler ever wants to spend time doing so much like that. But it's like, I get what you're saying, but in the end, at the end of the day, in the long run, how does this really help his stock value as a character, especially when people start to look at him on their level of the IWC?
Well, let's look at the other side of that, Chris. And I'm speaking a little out of school because I've not really seen the specifics of what he's saying or the volume, how often he's saying it. I've not seen that. But let's look at the other side of the coin. This is what I do like about it, because up until this point, what has his reputation been? Great wrestler. And that ain't getting him anywhere, bro. Great wrestlers are a dime a dozen. And going all the way back to Lucha Underground, it was this guy is a great wrestler, great wrestler, great wrestler. When he went over to WWE, great wrestler, great wrestler, great wrestler. Great wrestler got him nowhere. Yeah. So even if this is the wrong road to go down, I think it was smart of him to try to add to his persona and realizing, man, being a great wrestler, you're going to be one of freaking many. He is trying to do something to make himself stand out a little, and that's what I like about it.
I don't think his persona is shown through his tweets, though. I think that,
I'm not familiar. I'm not that. I'm going to start following it between now and our next show so I can talk about it. But yeah,
it doesn't really show in his tweets. It's just kind of it's kind of like relegating himself to kind of hovering with the IWC, which is automatically a decrease in stock value. Yeah. But I will say, though, to your point, from what I've seen in the socials as far as AEW, I haven't really. You and I both don't watch AEW, but we both try to, do our best to keep our finger in their paws through socials. And so he did turn heel. I don't know when ago. There was he came in as a wrestler, just as a wrestler in AEW. And then the fans just kind of turned him heel. And, he's been full blown heel for a while. I think it was Swerve Strickland or Will Ospreay that he had a feud with, maybe Swerve. And I think it was one of them. And so he's been full heel for a while now. And that I do like because he has character. And I think it's good. I mean, I think it's fine, as far as his character is concerned. And to your point, he's not just flippy Ricochet anymore. Yeah. He's a heel. And smaller heels, they can, to me, they have an advantage because you can always throw in that Napoleon complex when it comes to like smaller heels. That's the reason why, to me, someone like a Shawn Michaels, especially when Brian Kendrick was heel in WWE, when Ezekiel Jackson was his manager. Or was his bodyguard, really? He wasn't the man, his bodyguard. I think that worked. I think it was good because he had this type of Napoleon complex, inferiority complex type of persona to him. And I think stuff like that works pretty well.